Yo, what's up everyone? In this video I wanted to talk about this concept of the original intent of this video is for me to talk about how you're not really depressed, you're just fat or lonely or broke. And then I realized that I already made that depression flowchart, which kind of covers the same topic. So this sort of morphed into something else. Although I do want to touch on that video that I made earlier. Not that I'm like an expert in depression. I'm not a psychologist. I don't, what do I know, right? But it does seem to be very clear to me the distinction between being depressed and having a shit life. Like if you're broke and you're unhealthy and you're lonely and you don't have any friends, you're not depressed. You don't have depression. You just have a bad life, and you need to fix those things in your life, right? It's not that people. A lot of people have the kind of understanding that, oh, everything is going great in my life, and then I caught the depression. I got infected with the depression virus, and then everything in my life turned to shit. No, what's more likely is that you did not want to accept responsibility for letting certain areas of your life deteriorate. And now you're kind of just saying, oh, I have depression as a way to excuse yourself of any sort of responsibility for letting your life go to shit. Whether or not that's intentional, who knows? I'm not saying it's just human nature to not want to take responsibility for bad things in our life that happen to us. It's psychology. Normally what happens, and there's studies that have proven this, is that we love to take credit for the good things and we blame other people for the bad things. That's just human nature. That's just how it is, right? It doesn't mean you're a bad person if you do that. But it does mean that, having a bad life can kind of creep up on you because it's our natural instinct to blame external circumstances for bad things in our life. Oh, you don't have any money. Oh, well, this person screwed me over, and like the industry's no good, and like, whatever. It's my product isn't as good. People are stupid. They don't understand. Whatever. But the bottom line is that you have to take. Well, I guess let's just start here, right? You have to take responsibility for what's going on. You have to, and the way that I would think about it is like this. Actually, the next point, which is reject this pursuit of happiness and embrace responsibility, right? A lot of the time, especially in the United States, we have this whole idea of happiness. I want to be happy. I just want to be happy. I deserve to be happy. What can I do to make me happy? Pick something that you love to do and you'll be happy forever, right? It's this idea of like happiness as this magical thing, this elusive thing that nobody can find, because in the modern world that we live in, we're very self-centered. We're very fucking self-absorbed. We only think about what will make us happy. It's like all about instant gratification. What food can I eat? Let me open up Instagram and see how many likes I got on my posts, or YouTube, or whatever it is. It's hardwired into us as human beings to kind of pursue this instant gratification, which we interpret as, we might not consciously interpret that as happiness, but those are all micro pursuits of happiness, I guess, or pursuits of micro happiness. I don't know, whatever. I'm just making shit up as I go along, clearly. But instead of that, I think what will lead to not necessarily happiness, but a more satisfied mental state. And satisfaction gets a very bad rap these days in society because there's this whole like type A personality attitude of like never be satisfied, always push harder, always try and break your records, always be competitive and beat other people and beat yourself, and in a good way, obviously. Be better than you were yesterday. And that's fine if you can do it in a controlled way, which allows you to experience satisfaction when you have to be satisfied with the amount of effort that you're putting in. And the only way you're going to be satisfied with the amount of effort that you're putting in is if you accept responsibility for yourself and you say, I'm responsible for my health, for example. I'm responsible for my health, and today I did X, Y, and Z. Today I went to the gym. Today I bought some fucking carrots, whatever. Today I took steps to improve my health. Now, for some people, that might just be eating some vegetables. You might have to set the bar really low because you might be in such poor health. Your habits might be so shit, and your responsibility muscles, right? If we can like conceptualize that, your responsibility muscles might be so atrophied that you're not capable of pursuing health in the same way that a trained athlete might be, for example. You might not be capable of that. You might be fucking miserable, and that might be virtually impossible for you to do. But you have to do something. You have to do something. You have to take responsibility. You have to do something, and you have to be satisfied with the amount of effort that you've taken, while at the same time always, trying to improve on what you did the day before. But the key really is to embrace this sense of responsibility for yourself. Now, a lot of the times, because I know a lot of people, and I think this happens more with intelligent people, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, where they say, like, I know I'm responsible for my health. I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it, right? Well, you have not embraced responsibility enough then. You have not embraced it enough. Because I promise you, once you take on enough responsibility, you will be compelled to action, right? And you hear this a lot with people who hate going to the gym, for example, and then all of a sudden they have kids. And then all of a sudden, now that they have kids, they want to fucking work out super hard. They want to eat healthy. They want to quit smoking. They want to quit alcohol. They want to clean up their diet because they want to be around for their kids to grow up. They want to be alive, They want to be alive as long as possible so that they can experience the lives of their children for as long as possible, or their grandchildren, or whatever the case may be. Why? Because they've accepted more responsibility on themselves. Because this is an easy example, but when you have kids, ideally you feel responsible for them and you want to help them in life as much as possible. So you want to be around for them, obviously, to help them, because if you're not around, you can't really help them. Unless you make YouTube videos for them to watch in the future. Anyway, so then this brings us to the 3 levels of responsibility, right? The first level is personal responsibility. You have to take responsibility for yourself. If you're in bad health, if you're broke, if you don't have any friends, you have to accept responsibility on yourself, where you say, I have to handle this. Like, this is one area that I have to handle. Now that will give you like varying levels of motivation, because when you're only thinking about yourself, a lot of us, and I think this is the first chapter or second chapter in Jordan Peterson's book, where he's like, treat yourself as if you were somebody else, right? Because a lot of the times we are very lax with ourselves. We'll let ourselves go. We'll treat ourselves like shit. We won't really take very good care of ourselves. But when it comes to somebody else, we feel this kind of sense of, guess what, responsibility for them to treat them in a much better way. We're more respectful. Like what's the I read this once. I don't remember where I read this, but it said that people who have pets, and if their pets take medication, the like rate of them remembering to give their pets the medication is like 99% or something. But when it comes to themselves taking their own medication, it's like 20%. Why? Because they feel a much greater sense of responsibility for their pets than they do for themselves. So the first level of responsibility is personal, right? And like I mentioned earlier, you have to treat yourself as if you were another person, right? For example, well, anyway, you guys get what I'm saying, right? And then the second 2 levels of responsibility, and I'm kind of lumping these in together because with the internet these days, you can achieve these simultaneously, right? Like, you don't need to just achieve something in your life and then help your friends and family, and then only after that you can like help other people. You can really honestly do all 3 of these at the same time. All it takes is for you to learn one lesson about anything. Like, you learned today that, fucking chicken liver has lots of vitamin B or whatever. Then you can help other people with that knowledge if you accept responsibility for helping them. Okay, so that's those are the 3 levels of responsibility. Now, the next thing that you need to understand, or a helpful model for putting this into action, is to understand that, or to accept the truth of the statement that being fat or lonely or broke, I guess being a miserable person in any one of these areas means you are a bad person. And hopefully that will not cause you to just wallow in self-pity. You'll actually want to do something about it, right? You'll actually look for some sort of solution. For example, let's say you have a job and your job is really not going very well and you're losing a lot of money. and you're going into debt and you're broke and you have to rely on other people to help you financially, guess what? That means you're a bad person. If we accept this model to be true, if you think of yourself as a bad person, accept responsibility for yourself and for the people around you, and understand that being a bad person is unacceptable in this regard, and do something about it. Do something to fix it. Get another job. Change your industry. Go fucking pick up cans on the street. Like, go make sandwiches, sell them door to door. Like, pick something, do something about it. And the real, I guess, key to the motivation here is accepting the responsibility that you have to yourself, to your community, and to the people who are close to you in your life. Because you better believe, if your health starts to fail, then you are going to you're going to have to rely on other people. If your finances start to fail, you're going to have to rely on other people. If you're really lonely, well, I guess you can't really rely on other people, but you're probably going to be a miserable human being. And really what it comes down to is this idea of accepting responsibility. That is what is going to make you happy, right? Let's frame it in a sense of completely selfish motivation. If you accept responsibility for a certain area of your life, that will act like the act of committing effort to fixing that area. That is what will make you happy. Simplest example in the world, whatever, take any example. If you're overweight and you're fat and you're out of shape and you accept responsibility for that and you take steps to fix that, that in and of itself will make you happy. Just the knowledge that you have done something to do that will hopefully make you feel better. And then there's this next idea, right? You take responsibility for your current state. You don't wallow in self-pity. You do something to fix it. Because if you can't even be responsible for yourself, ultimately you will be letting other people down. And you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to let other people down. And again, if we want to frame this in selfish motivation, or if we want to frame this in a way that, like, what am I getting out of it? What do you have to gain? You think you feel bad now with your failing health and your low bank account and your loneliness? Well, guess how much worse you're going to feel when you have to rely on other people to fucking help you in those areas, And it's not like you're not capable. You are capable. You speak English. You live in the West. Like, you have a phone, a computer. You can do something about it. So once you accept this concept of rejecting happiness and embracing responsibility, and you commit to fixing yourself first, once you make some progress, you can help the people around you. And this is really, I guess, this is what will give you the ultimate sense of satisfaction. I don't want to say happiness, right? It's one thing, for example, to get, let's say, really ripped and like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I look pretty fucking good. That's one level of satisfaction. But if you were able to help thousands of people achieve that, that's a much better form of satisfaction. And this is something that I didn't realize until I started making these videos. When I started making YouTube videos, I was 100% in it for selfish, narcissistic reasons. And that is one of the things that, does keep me making videos. I like the attention. I like looking at myself. I like listening to myself talk, really straight up. I'll just tell you the truth. But the moments that I really like the most, and this kind of surprised me, are the moments where I get, and it doesn't happen that often, but occasionally I'll get a comment or an email from somebody, and they'll say, or they'll write me something on Instagram, and it'll be this fucking long ass message like, hey, I just wanted to let you know your videos really helped me. I had this problem and I was struggling with it for a really long time, and then I watched your video and it like put some things into perspective for me, and now I've been watching all your videos and like they've helped me so much, and I changed my life in all these ways. And I was surprised when I read that how much I actually enjoyed that kind of communication from people, because I always kind of had this like tough guy attitude of, oh, I don't care, if I help people or not. I don't care about other people. I only care about myself. Like, I'm gonna get mine, basically. But if I got like 20 of those comments a day, oh my God, I would be way, way, way more motivated to help, to do all of this stuff, really, to make progress in these areas on my own, right? So like the fitness, and here's what it comes down to, right? The fitness thing, I feel like I've got that pretty much handled, right? I know obviously you can always learn more and blah blah blah. There's people who know more than me, but I feel like I know enough about that. I can take anybody off the street and I can make you look really good and be really healthy and be an athlete, like fix your health, whatever condition you're in. And if I can do that in other areas, right? If I can figure that out with money, because that's something I really haven't figured out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not in the best financial situation. Haven't been for a long time. Despite the fact that I've tried really hard and I've tried to learn, just not quite there yet. I'm just not. But if I instead make my motivation, instead of trying to focus on learning that myself so I can improve my own life, which will give me like a certain level of motivation. But if I change my motivation from that into being able to help people around me to make the world a better place, as corny as that sounds, and like I can't even believe that I'm saying that because it sounds so cliched, the potential payoff from that of accepting the responsibility of helping the people around you and also on the way helping yourself, it's like, why wouldn't you choose that instead of only helping yourself, right? On the one hand, you can make a lot of money and feel really good about yourself that you made a lot of money, or get really fit, or have like all these great personal relationships, or you can teach people how to do the exact same thing by accepting responsibility for helping the people around you and also achieve the first one with not really that much more effort involved. Okay, so did I make any sense in this video? I feel like I didn't make any sense. Anyway, I gotta go to work soon. What do you think about that? Did this make any sense? I don't even really know. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.